We're doing Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, Gnana Yoga. Dependence in the West is seen as a very bad thing. In the West, you have to be independent. You shouldn't depend on anybody. That's why families are breaking and becoming smaller and smaller. Everyone feels so independent and that they can't adjust with other person. And there are all these complications. Then there is fear. You have fear and you are independent. I tell you, it is no independence. But if you are living in a large family and you feel independent, joint family, and you have no fear, you are more independent. I've seen in Australia, there are youths who drop out from the school, drop out from the college. It happens anywhere in the world. It's quite common. On the name of independence, parents would want them to choose the food they want to eat from the age of 4 months. They want to do all their chores all by themselves independently. From the age of 10, they would want them to not depend on anything on the parents. So there is a chance that the child goes out of the house at a very young age or moves out with a girlfriend to have another relationship which is not congenial at that age. But on the name of independence, the child is given so much of freedom to do whatever they want. And the adolescent mind wouldn't be able to choose what is right for them so completely. And they would get into addictions or bad company, bad friends, and end up in jails and crimes. And this also happens, mugging. So independence doesn't mean that if what all they do is their own choice. That's not the real independence. What appears to be independence is not really independence. This age is of interdependence. In the whole world, we're all dependent on each other. We have a false notion that if we have some money in our pocket, bundle of currency in our pockets, we feel we are independent. I feel connected to my family so much, and there is always different people in the family, and not everybody thinks the same. But it takes very less time for them to understand or respect or accept as what we are. In no time, if you're authentic, if you're living yourself, people are happy to adjust. And the same with you. You will be able to mingle with everybody. It's just that phase, and people run away without going through that phase, thinking by running away they can be more independent. Sometimes money gives us an illusion that we are independent. With the economic slump due to the lockdown and crisis, the slowdown, even something which we are all depending on, that which gave us an illusion of independence is also gone, is taken away from us, if you observe. Whereas in the eastern side of the world, the thought was different. Taking refuge in Buddha. That's why Lord Buddha said, Buddham Sharanam Gaccham. I take refuge in Buddha. That means you are taking refuge with the simplicity. Why so simple? Sangam Sharanam Gaccham. I take refuge in the communion. In Kali Yuga, there is a saying that you have to go with the community. The more communion you have, the bigger strength you feel. Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. I take refuge in the goodness. This is also taking refuge in the self, your own self. But there is an arrogant way of taking, like, I know, I do it my way. That's my way is the right way. Or there is a softer version of the same thing. Getting refuge in the self, in the right consciousness, in the knowledge, in the Gnana. Taking refuge was to be considered a great privilege. It needs a lot of bravery to take that step to see that same energy in other human being. In southern India, saints are called Sharanu. Sharanu means one who has taken refuge in the self, in the Lord. Okay, now if you know what is the meaning of Shiva, I would like to briefly tell you what is Shiva. If you say shh sound, all over the world, if you have to say silence, you make this gesture shh. In any part of the world, if they want to show the wonder expression, they say wow. Wonder is the face of yoga. When you say shh, wow, that wonderful silence within us is Shiva. It's not the one who's wearing snakes and sitting on the Himalayas, one human being doing the marijuana and cocaine. No, it is that inner silence. We take refuge in that. We'll talk more about that in our next video. Namaste.